We would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet to share these conversations on the Vegan Compass podcast.
We extend our respect to elders past and present, as well as any of our listeners and guests. Hello and welcome to the Vegan Compass podcast, unveiling truths, inspiring change. We are your hosts, Rick Allport and Mackenzie Cross.
From wherever you're listening, please be sure to like and subscribe to support this podcast. Now to the episode.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Vegan Compass podcast. We're so excited to have you all with us again. I'm Mackenzie Cross and your co-host, Rick Allport.
How are you today, Mackenzie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, especially after the dinner you just made for us. It was rather delicious.
I made a vegan lasagna. It was good.
Yes, it was.
Rub it in.
Yeah, and garlic bread. Oh my goodness, It was so good.
I said, does garlic bread go with lasagna? Because I was like, I don't have salad or anything. Rick's like, yes.
Well, isn't garlic bread technically a salad? You've sprinkled some herbs on it.
I did put some herbs on it.
Is there anything that garlic bread doesn't go with, though?
Ice cream?
Yeah, true. We don't want that.
Okay, so folks, we are very happy. You've already heard a bit from her today. We are so happy to have Michelle here from Happily Heifer After. So Michelle,
Hello.
Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Michelle Dranfield. I am 31 years old. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, and I am the founder and sanctuary manager at Happily Heifer After. So I run all of the animal care, I run the social media accounts, I run the fundraising, the events, and a few other things going on here at the sanctuary.
Wow.
You're a very busy lady.
Yeah, how do you keep up with everything? My goodness.
Don't know. Coffee.
True. Good answer. I guess, do you want to take us back to the start of your journey? Was there a specific moment or experience? What set the path for you to start an animal sanctuary?
Yeah, so in 2018, I watched the movie Dominion, and that's kind of what catapulted me into my passion for animal rights and kind of opened my eyes to the reality of the animal ag industry. But it wasn't until 2019 that I moved from Sydney to the sunny coast in Queensland, and I didn't really know anyone, so I got involved in a few animal rights groups and Facebook vegan groups and stuff like that. And I met some people who were doing animal rights activism. And so I started actually rescuing animals from the industries. And it wasn't until that happened that I really kind of caught my passion and realized that I wanted to do this. And this was what I was going to do with my life. So I originally worked as a veterinary nurse. So I kind of combined those skills with my passion for veganism and animal rights and started on the path we are today.
That's amazing. I mean, it's incredible how many people have been turned around by Dominion. Such a powerful movie. I hosted 6 screenings of it, and you could see the change in people once they had seen what was going on. It really is one of the most amazing films that's ever been put out. And then, of course, you've got now Joey has come out with Pignorant over in the UK. Another powerful film, amazing footage that you just think these guys have so much guts to get in there and do all this thing and expose all this stuff. Yeah. It's so goddamn dangerous, but they do it, and we've got to see it. We have to witness all this thing. But
Exactly. And I think I take my hats off to them, because if they hadn't done that, like if Chris and Joey didn't do the work that they do, I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing, and you guys probably might not be where you are. So I'm very grateful for the things that they've done, and the things they've put themselves through.
Yeah, exactly. Now, taking you back to the sanctuary, what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced early on, and how do you keep on going?
So early on, the biggest challenges were probably financial. For the first 2 years of the organization, I worked 3 jobs, as well as running the organization, because I needed to be able to continuously have money there to pay vet bills, to pay for feed, to pay for fuel to go out on rescues. And I got to a point where there was only so many hours in the day, and so many hours I could work and so many hours I could care for animals. And probably the most challenging thing that I have experienced over the past 6 years since I've started this is getting to the realization that there comes a point where I have to say no. And there comes a point where I can't just keep saying yes and keep helping animals, because there's always going to be animals out there who need help. And that's probably the biggest challenge.
I can totally understand that. Like, it's so hard to turn animals away when they need help, but you also have a duty of care to the animals that are already, in your care. You need to make sure that you can feed them, that they can get veterinary care when they need it, and that sort of thing. So, even though it is a hard decision, it is definitely the right one.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Like, over the years on social media, I've experienced quite a bit of backlash from people from the industries that I'm advocating against. Like, I've experienced emotional abuse, intellectual abuse, threats, violent threats, death threats. But nothing compares to having to look an animal in the eye and say, I'm so sorry, but I just can't help. It's definitely the hardest.
Yeah, I used to run a street cat rescue team on the Gold Coast.
I remember you telling me about that down in Melbourne. Yeah.
It's like there were 3 of us, and we would be doing rescues for RSPCA because they couldn't get to them. And you just get to that point where you go, I'm just physically and mentally exhausted, and I can't go out. And you feel dreadful because you know there's an animal there needing help, but you just don't have the physical and mental capacity to do it. So yeah, I take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing an amazing job. I think one of the loveliest things I've seen with you is when you came out to Edgar's Mission with us, and you got to meet Pam Ahern. It was like this fangirl came in.
Full fangirl moment.
I fangirl over Pam as well.
I think, I fanboy over Pam's a great friend. I've known her for years now.
She's so beautiful.
Pam came up to your sanctuary,
Yeah. So she took her first holiday, and I think it was like 8 years, with Robin and one of her friends, and she chose to spend some of her very short holiday visiting our sanctuary, which was such an honor. And it was just really full circle to be able to show her what I've created, because genuinely she inspired me, and Edgar's inspired me to do what we do and to continue the work that we do. So yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Well, next time we get up to the sunny coast, I'm coming.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good.
That gave me goosebumps, actually. Like, when you were talking about the full circle moment, it's amazing how those things kind of happen for us.
Yeah. And I would have never, I don't think it ever would have happened if I hadn't gone to Edgar's that day, because that's when I connected with her, when you were there, Rick. So it's pretty cool how you can make connections and they can just kind of blossom.
Yeah, I'm going there for the first time in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it.
I'm going to be down in Melbourne again in a couple of weeks. Different trips. So there's no rumours or anything like that. I'm going down for kangaroo. I'm going down for Kangaroos Alive. Mackenzie's going down for something I have no idea about. But I'm going to try and get to Edgar's as well while I'm down there, because I'm in Melbourne. I have to do it.
If you want to win a gate crash, I'm going to the 10:30 a.m. tour.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we get in on the Saturday, so I'm not sure we'll get there. Anyway, we've segued away from what we're here to talk about. Can you just share us a little bit about some of the animals who live with you and some of their stories? Because I always love hearing these things.
Yeah.
They're so good, feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. I could talk all day about the animals that are here, but I know we're on a time limit, so I'll try and keep it as brief as I can. One of my favorite stories of one of the animals we have here is our beautiful ex-bull, who is named Stanley. And Stanley was rescued probably about 3.5 years ago, and I was contacted about him because he was found kind of roaming between 4 or 5 different cattle farms, and he was considered rogue and wild, and he was just jumping fences between the properties and causing havoc to the farmers. And they had actually tried to hunt him for years, and they were never able to kill him. So I was contacted because I think one of the farmers' wives kind of had this respect for him and had this appreciation for his survival, and so wanted to give him an opportunity to live. And we were contacted, and I went out there just to see what he was like and if I would even consider trying to catch him and trying to rescue him. And when I got there, one of the middle-aged men farmers looked me up and down and laughed and was like, "You're never gonna catch him," and that was all I needed to to get the inspiration going. And yeah, we started on our quest. So his rescue probably took maybe 3 to 4 weeks of planning. It took about maybe 12 to 14 hours to actually complete it. We had about $10,000 in professional equipment, actual professionals, vets, tranquilizers, things like that, who helped us. And it was a pretty remarkable day. But we did catch him and we did save his life. And he's been with us ever since. So it's pretty amazing to see the difference in him now versus when I first saw him. When I first saw him, he was so angry and frustrated and scared. He was really scared. Like, you'd go near him and he'd just tremble. Whereas now he's so peaceful. He's so happy and content in his life, and he just loves his family. He loves living here, and yeah, I just love watching him live his life.
Maybe you could send us some photos and a bit of video that we can include into this, so people can see how he, like the when you got him to what he's like now, and we can just help share his story, because that just sounds amazing.
I actually remember Stanley's rescue. I was following you on social media back then. Obviously,
so cool.
I'm still following now, obviously.
But I've dumped you now.
And I remember he had these huge, big horns. Like, I'd never seen horns so big.
Yeah, they were massive. They were massive. We did, so throughout the rescue, it was quite complicated, but we had him tranquilized, and then when he went down, we had him anesthetized, and we did surgery to castrate him and dehorn him, because the farmers had told us that he had gored other cows and he tried to gore humans because of his aggression. So we obviously had to make sure that we weren't in danger taking him on, but his horns were beautiful, and when we dehorned them, the farmers were sitting around and they wanted them, like, as a trophy, and I was so like weird. I was like, no. I was like guarding those horns with my life.
What, you didn't do anything? You sat on your butt while we rescued this bull, so you're not having the horns?
This little girl came in and she rescued the bull, but we want the horns to prove it.
Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah.
Funny. So, what does a typical day at the sanctuary look like for you?
It's a long one, so I'll try and keep it brief again. But I normally start off my day every morning being woken up by our little pig. So we have a pig that lives in our house with us, and she sleeps next to my bed, and so she wakes me up every morning around 6 o'clock, and lets me know she's ready to start the day. And then I'll let her out, give her breakfast, and before I jump into the animal care, I make sure to set myself up. That's something that I didn't previously do before the past 6 months, and it's now a really important part of my day is to make sure I have a good breakfast. I'm really into affirmation cards and mindfulness, so I pull an affirmation card, and I set my intentions for the day, and I write out my to-do list. And then once I've done all that, I get on to sorting out the animals. So I head outside and give all of the animals their breakfast. We have about 97 animals here at the sanctuary, and they each require individualized care. So they each have diets, medical requirements, things like that. So I give out their breakfast, I give out medications needed. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll give everyone a once over health check just to make sure no one's fallen ill or injured overnight. Once that's done, which normally takes about 2 hours, I'll start cleaning out all the enclosures and cleaning out the water troughs, make sure everyone has fresh water. And then after a couple hours of that, I'll start doing any animal care that's needed. So doing regular hoof care, medicated baths, vaccinations, any sort of health care that's required for the animals, I'll get done. And then I'll make sure some days I'll go out and get supplies, get more feed. Some days I have vet appointments, just kind of depends. But then after that, it's normally time for afternoon feeds. So I will start making up the dinners for all the animals, which normally takes a couple hours again. And then once all the animals are fed and in their beds for the night, I will head inside to the office and do our social media content for the day, and our engagement. So I'll try and make sure I get back to all the comments, get back to any messages that we've been contacted about, answer anything that I need to. And then generally I will eat something for dinner and crash in bed.
Wow.
You're a superstar. I'm here trying to count up the hours, and I'm going, hang on, this doesn't work. And are you doing this predominantly on your own, or do you have volunteers with you or help?
So about 2 years ago, we made the move to our permanent location, which has been really amazing. But we moved an hour and a half away from our original location. So previously, for the first 4.5 years of running the organisation, I had about 40 to 50 volunteers per week who had regular weekly shifts. Now I have 3 volunteers who come up once a month. So,
Oh,
right.
oh
yeah.
my gosh, that must be so challenging.
It is. But it's also rewarding to be able to know that everything that is being done to my standard, and I get to spend so much more time with the animals, which is really amazing, and it's why I started this in the first place. So I'm very grateful. My partner works externally of the sanctuary, but he only works 3 days a week, so he helps me the other 4 days, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without him.
It's really cool, because running a sanctuary is really so emotionally and physically draining. There's no two ways about it, because you're facing many challenges that people would not even think about. And I know that there are so many people out there who say, oh, I want to run a sanctuary. You know, how cool would it be to run a sanctuary? But they don't realize what goes into running a sanctuary. And now you have actually been very open about your recent mental journey and you know how it has affected you. Can you just share a little bit of that journey with our listeners? Because again, this is valuable information for people who go, ooh, sanctuary, how much fun is this? So yeah.
And I think also just normalizing burnout and compassion fatigue. It's something we hear so much in the animal rights movement.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100% agree. So I think it's really, really important to be as open and honest as possible about mental health. I firsthand do that, but I think it's really important for other people as well, because it relieves the pressure that people feel when they feel like they can't talk about it, if they see other people talking about it. So yeah, I'm more than happy to talk about my mental health journey. I have struggled with a few things throughout my life, with some childhood trauma and CPTSD, but the last year I was diagnosed with ADHD, and that kind of made a lot of sense for my life, and it explained a lot. And it also explained why I haven't really ever prioritized myself. I've always hyper focused into whatever I'm really passionate about or whatever I'm kind of chasing. And that's kind of leading into my mental health journey this past year. For most of my life, I've probably always focused on everything else other than myself, and it just caught up with me. I really, really was pouring from an empty cup, and I was in survival mode, and I was getting up every day, just trying to get through. Which, as you can imagine, what my days are like now. It was very difficult when I was in survival mode and when I wasn't coping as well as I am now. So yeah, I'm very grateful for everyone around me who has supported me. And I think it's so important to lean on those around you if you are experiencing compassion fatigue or burnout or any mental health concerns. Definitely.
Unfortunately, I know from experience about burnout and stress and what it can do to you and heart attacks and all that stuff. Please don't let that happen to you, because
Yeah, I remember you talking about that at the expo. Um it's pretty crazy. I had a big light bulb moment. One of my close friends has terminal cancer, and she really, really changed my world and changed my life and made me kind of understand that I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this every day, and I get to live, and I get to share this mission with the world, and it is a gift. And yeah, it's important to genuinely remind ourselves of that every day.
So beautiful that you got to that place. I'm a big believer that mindset and positive mindset is everything, but it can be so hard to turn your mindset around when you're really in the trenches. So how did you get through that really low mental health period?
Um, I I kind of treaded water for a couple months, and didn't realize that things were as bad as they were because my day to day is so intensive. So I was just kind of getting through the day, until things started happening one after the other, after the other, after the other. Like we just had loss after loss and tragedy and hardship. And it got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. And I mentioned before, I'm originally from Canada, and I hadn't been home to see my family in nearly 8 years. So I leaned on everyone around me, and they helped look after the sanctuary here so that I could get home and meet my nieces and nephews and spend time with my family. And it wasn't until I was able to get away from the day to day reality, and actually get some perspective, that I really kind of changed my mindset. Um, Also, counseling, therapy is amazing. No stigma. It is so important. I think everyone should have to go to therapy. It's like school for your emotions. So I definitely am a huge advocate for that. And yeah, leaning on those around you who you have to support.
I couldn't agree more about the therapy. I had two psychologists, one on the Gold Coast, and then when I moved back to Sydney, I had another one here in Sydney, both who were absolutely amazing
Yeah.
and helped me through to the other side where I could pick myself up again, dust myself off, and go, okay, I'm ready to be back.
Yeah.
But it's a daunting journey. And we're so grateful that you've come to the other side of it. That's really awesome. But now you are on the other side. How are you making sure that you're still taking care of yourself? Because you have such an incredibly full on day and full on life. What are you doing now to make sure you keep yourself in control?
Yep. So continuing the therapy, continuing the counseling, using those skills that I have learnt, and working on my mindset, working on my my mental health, as a whole, and really prioritizing it. I am absolutely obsessed with Mel Robbins' podcast and her book. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but love her. She's amazing. And yeah, just kind of leaning on the people around me who have been here for me through these difficult times has helped me so much.
I also have seen on your social media recently that you love to put on a song and dance while you're doing the chores and cleaning up after the animals. And I think that's such a nice way to be as well, to like bring that joy and lightness into your day and not I guess, get so bogged down in all the heavy stuff, like still make room for lightness and joy and fun.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I remember when I first got back from Canada and I started like day one getting back into the intensive slog that this is. I was doing the chores and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna blast music and sing my heart out, and I felt so cringy. And the person that I was with was like, "You need to film this. This is hilarious." And I was like, "No, no one wants to see that." But the response has been amazing. So I think it is so important to remember, like, positivity and light are so important, and the smallest things can make a huge difference. And just grasp onto any of those moments that you can.
Yeah.
Maybe we should film when we set up, because as soon as the microphone comes on, this one here, she's singing, she's rapping, she's doing all this stuff.
It's pretty embarrassing. No one wants to see that.
No, it's really cute. I like it.
See that.
It's really cute.
Maybe we need a good cause. What we should set up like a fundraiser or something, and then everyone can hear me beatbox really badly.
Love it. Great idea.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's fun.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to others in the animal rights movement who are feeling overwhelmed or burnt out?
I think I would say that it's so important to understand, um, and don't just say, like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, if you're not okay, ask for help, reach out for help. Don't just keep going. Don't just keep digging yourself into that trench, because it's, I mean, I don't want to say it's guaranteed to happen to everyone in this movement, but it almost is guaranteed to happen, because this is such a difficult world that we're living in, where there's always going to be more animals that need help than there are us. And the reality of that is really hard to grasp, and it's really hard to actually understand. And I feel like for me, I spent years of people being like, "I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it." And I was just like, "I just do it." But you kind of have to get to a point where you realize you can't pour from an empty cup, and you have to look after yourself first. And also, don't compare yourself to anyone else or anyone else's achievements, because as long as you're working to your highest capacity and your best for the animals, then we're all going to help the most animals we possibly can and do the best work we can. But if we start comparing ourselves to others and make things into a competition and shaming others for not doing a certain amount, we're never going to work long term. So
yes, that's such amazingly good advice, because you do see, especially in our movement, people will say, "Oh, my activism is better than your activism. You shouldn't do that. You should do it this way." And it's like, no, just please shut the F up. Everybody has to be respectful of everybody else's place in this movement. And if you're just making a vegan meal, great. If you're doing DXE, great. If you're doing something in the middle, great. But don't attack other people who are doing something different, because every level of activism works. But what I also like about what you're saying is, if you're getting burned out, if you're feeling mentally down and physically down, reach out. I'm the prime example of not reaching out, thinking, I'll be fine. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll all settle down. And of course, I woke up in the morning in the back of an ambulance going to hospital. That's what happens when you don't take note of these things. So I'm so grateful and glad that you took note of it. And for anybody watching and listening, please take note of this, because it is so important. We can't lose activists. We can't lose people in our movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for sharing so openly about your mental health journeys. It really does help to break the stigma and make people feel, I guess, less alone, because we know it is so common in this movement.
yeah, absolutely. And to anyone out there listening, if you are struggling and you don't know who to go to, send us a message at Happily Heifer After. I will always respond. I'll do the best I can to kind of point you in the right direction. But just know you've always got someone out there who can help.
Likewise, anyone who needs to reach out, I'm way too experienced in this. So, I'm happy to help anybody who needs help, because we need you. We need the people on the ground. Now, segueing away from all this, because let's get to something really super positive, and when we actually first met you. So it was back in 2024 at the Animal Justice Awards, and you won a big award. How cool was that? That was really amazing. Yeah. So we were so grateful, and we were so happy that, you know, people had come together, and what a great crowd it was. And up you came and you got your wonderful award. So can you tell us about that and your experience and what it's meant to you and how it's helped?
Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned the question before about mental health and then segued into this, because during that time when the Animal Justice Awards happened was a really difficult time for me, and I was going through a lot of grief, a lot of loss from a lot of really special animals that I had since the beginning of when I started this. So I genuinely, I genuinely didn't think I was going to win. Like, I got invited down there and I was like, I'm still not going to win. Like, they'll probably invite everyone. And we were sitting in the in the rows waiting for the name to be called, and my friend next to me was like, I think you're going to win. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Yeah, I think that was such an important part of my life, and I think moment in my life, because I was so low, and it just really showed me how important the work that I do is, and how people are seeing it, and just gave me that recognition, being able to stand up there in front of all these people that I've admired and followed for years, and just be honored to be in their presence was really, really life-changing, and gave me the motivation to continue long term.
Well, you're certainly very deserving of the award.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was such a good Animal Justice Awards in person. It was our first one in person. Hopefully we'll be doing it again in person soon.
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing it again.
Yeah.
So in Sydney. So it'll be a Sydney-based one.
Oh, in Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't think we can spill too much more yet.
No, that's it. That's all we can spill.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But I remember doing the awards and emceeing with Mackenzie. And before we sort of walked up on stage, Mackenzie said, oh, you know, how many people do you think we're going to get in here? And I said, oh, look, I'd be happy if there's 30 or 40. And when we walked up, it's like the whole room was packed. There was like
hundreds.
Yeah, and I'm just looking, going, "Oh shoot, this is huge."
It was so good.
Yeah.
And I was like so nervous. I was there so early. I sat down in the front, and I was just like sitting there nervous, and I didn't realize how many people were there until I got up and accepted the award. And then I turned around, and the whole room is full, and I was like, it was wild. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was such a great night.
Yeah.
It was really wonderful.
So what are your hopes and dreams for Happily Heifer After in the coming years? What have you got up your sleeve?
She hasn't got long sleeves, so she hasn't got much.
Yeah, we're in Queensland. We don't wear long sleeves much. I mentioned briefly before that about 2 years ago, we made our move to our long-term location. So we were lucky enough, my partner and I were able to buy a property and permanently secure the sanctuary for the animals, which is so important because they need that long-term security and that safety. So so important, and so grateful that and proud that we were able to get to this point. But ever since then, we've really struggled with the economic downturn and the significant decrease in volunteers and support that I mentioned before. So we're really wanting to finish our infrastructure on the property to make sure that we can continue this mission for the animals for decades to come, and really set it up for the animals as they deserve.
That's really that's just such a beautiful goal. But how can people help you? Because yes, you said you've moved an hour and a half away from your previous location. So how can they help you with things like donations or, you know, getting themselves up there to help you? What can they do? Because you do need help.
Yeah, absolutely. So donations is a huge thing. We're currently working on a fundraising campaign that we're hopefully going to run in a couple of months to really lock in the funding to be able to finish securing the infrastructure that we need for the animals. So keeping an eye on our socials for that, donating if you can, becoming a monthly sponsor, ongoing cost sponsor. If you can't donate financially, interacting with our social media is such a huge thing as well. Following, liking, commenting, sharing, it all helps reach up more people and be able to reach more people who will hopefully be able to support our work.
Yeah, amazing. I'm a supporter of the hen hospital, I have to say.
Oh, thank you. You're the best.
And just a little brag. Um,
Her halo's sitting above her head.
No, but I was just going to encourage people to donate. Like, I think it's only $10 a month, and it's so rewarding to get the little updates on how everyone's going and just, yeah, feel like you're making a positive impact on all these animals who otherwise wouldn't have had the chance to live out their life. So if you've got some dollars to spare, it's very worthwhile.
Yeah, have you guys seen that? It's like a famous drawing of a person and they've got a speech bubble above their head and they say, I'm only one person, can I make a difference? And then there's like a million people behind them saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so true. Like you said, if you can give $5, $10, $20 a month, that's just a couple dollars a week. If we could get all of our supporters to do that, we would be able to save thousands of lives and be able to continue this work for so long. So yeah.
How many currently followers do you have on Facebook and Instagram, roughly?
So on Instagram we have 103,000 followers, and
Whoa.
on Facebook we have about 21,000.
Okay, so here's the deal, and this is the challenge for all your followers: $1 a week.
That'd be great.
If you all gave $1 a week, what a different world this is going to be.
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
Absolutely.
you have, what, 100 and something thousand on Instagram, $1 a week,
Yeah.
$1 a month.
Yeah.
Right, there's the challenge. We're throwing down that gauntlet, and it's $1 a month.
Come on.
Manifest it.
Manifest, definitely. Like, seriously, with that amount of following, you should be able to get that. Like, people can afford $1. Yeah.
I know. And I think what it is people really just think, oh, I'm not going to make a difference. I'm just one person, or what can $1 really do? But when you get that power in numbers, you can move mountains.
There's 100,000 people giving $1 a month.
Yeah.
There's your 100,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
Insane.
it's,
Yeah.
one person can make the difference if
Yeah.
everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
For sure.
Sorry,
For sure.
I get these crazy ideas and just go with the flow.
Welcome to Rick's Rants.
Yeah, there's a lot of rants, believe me.
It's a new podcast.
So, are there any new exciting projects and goals on the horizon that is really exciting you?
Yeah, so I did just previously mention that fundraising campaign that we're working towards. So the two main goals that we're trying to achieve with that is we really need to finish our predator-proof fencing. So in the past year, we've had a wild dog population come into our area and attack neighbouring farms and properties. And we have had an attack on our property earlier on in the year as well. And we thought at the time that our fencing was predator proof, but since learning that it wasn't, we've made massive changes to our infrastructure, but the changes that we're doing are very expensive. So we really need to secure funding to be able to increase the areas that we fully predator proof to make sure that the animals are safe. And the second project that we're going to be working on is we really want to create a specific Happily Heifer After hospital for animals. We want to create stables, quarantine areas, treatment rooms. We want to have a specific area for when animals come in. We have everything we need to be able to do the work that we know how to do and people want us to do, because right now we just don't have that infrastructure, and we can't help as many animals as we could if we did.
That all sounds so exciting. You've got a lot ahead of you.
$1 a week, people. $1 a week.
We
That's
can make it happen.
Come on, people.
Well, I really look forward to watching it unfold.
Yes, thank you.
A bit of a more like personal and reflective note, I guess. What gives you hope when it comes to the future of animal protection and veganism?
Yeah, so what gives me hope is the kindness and support that I see and receive every single day online. I'm quite isolated in a rural area physically, and I'm here all the time. So it's difficult to live physically in a reality that's highly concentrated with animal agriculture when you're doing the work that we do. But every single day, there's at least one message or comment that just makes my day where someone says, I help them go vegan, or what I do means so much to them, or just something that really turns my day around and makes me understand the impact that I'm having on the world. And makes me realize how many beautiful people there are out there, because there really are such amazing people. It's so easy to get caught up in the negativity of social media, and especially now with everything happening in the world. It's so easy, but yeah, I think it's so important to hold on to those beautiful people and really shine light on them.
Yeah.
That's just so cool. It's like it's so inspiring, and hearing you talk, it's like you should be a motivational speaker.
Yeah, I'm all
Maybe
about
that's my next calling.
yeah. I'm all about positive mindset. So like yeah, everything has really resonated with me, and I think it's so amazing that despite everything you've faced and all the realities every day of caring for animals and all of the cruelty that you see, you're still able to find the positivity and the joy.
I love that you
Um,
dance
you
around
have
to the
to.
music and sing, and yeah, and see that in itself is such a mind clearing thing to
Mm.
do.
It is.
Yeah, it really
It
settles
is,
the brain. Now
for sure.
we've pretty much hit on how listeners can support you and get involved with Happily Heifer After. Is there anything else that you can think of that they could be doing to help you?
I think I said donating. I think I said sponsoring. We said following, engaging with our social media. Um,
Plan a road trip with all of your
Yeah,
friends to Queensland.
yeah. Well, look, I mean, there's a big Sunshine Coast vegan group. Surely they could get together and plan a day to come up and do a working bee there with you.
Yeah, we actually do monthly working bees. So yeah, that's definitely another way that people can get involved, helping us more hands-on if they're wanting to. It's generally the last weekend of the month, but we do advertise them on our social media. So coming along for those. It's always a really great day. We do a vegan sausage sizzle for everyone, and we try and knock out a big project or big jobs around that we have to do. So yeah, that's definitely something that we could use some help with.
Very
People
cool.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any final words of wisdom for our listeners, Michelle?
I think my final words would be every single day to find a way to be kind to yourself, to someone else, and to animals, whether or not you are having a vegan meal, whether or not you are putting a positive comment on someone's Facebook or Instagram that's going to make their day, or you're just sending someone a message that you love them and that you're there for them. I think, like we've talked about, it's so important to embrace the kindness and compassion and light in this world, and balance out the negativity and the darkness.
That's so cool. Where can people find you on socials?
So our Instagram is Happily Heifer After. Our Facebook is Happily Heifer After, and our website is happilyheiferafter.org.
Hi.
Wonderful.
Yeah, surprising. They all sound the same.
We'll put those in the show notes so people can easily access them.
Amazing. Now, before you guys say goodbye, I thought if you want, I can show you my sleeping pig in the bedroom.
Yes, please.
Please, yes.
Okay, we'll go for
What
it.
is Piggy's name?
Her name's Pippa.
Pippa. Oh.
Yeah, she's an angel.
Does Pippa the pig snore?
She actually doesn't. She does do foul fuss. but she doesn't snore.
This is anyone who's listening on Spotify or
oh my goodness.
This is your sign to go to YouTube to watch the video.
Oh, she is just gorgeous. How old is Pippa?
Oh,
She's about a year old.
Oh, what a melting moment.
I just want to kiss her nose.
It's very kissable.
She's just gorgeous.
She's like a big dog.
Yeah.
She is. She's in a dog bed and everything.
That's like Pam's Chris,
Yeah.
who, same thing, would get the bed and take over Ruby's bed and
So she decided that she's not going to be an outside pig, she's going to be an inside pig.
Yeah, pretty much. I've hand raised a couple of piglets over the years, and when they get to about 6 months, they normally kind of want to be a pig and they want to stay outside with the other pigs. And she just never did that. Like, she goes out with the other pigs during the day sometimes, but if she can't see me or she decides she doesn't want to be in there, she'll just scream at the gate. And then as soon as I open the gate, she's happy, and she's so well behaved. Like, I've never met a pig who's so gentle and not destructive.
She's so sweet. Maybe she was a dog in a previous life.
Oh,
yeah. Well, she grew up with our puppy. So we were surrendered a 6-month-old border collie puppy a few weeks before we got her. So I think she thinks she's a dog.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean,
that is so sweet.
Seriously, so spoiled, and I love it.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on to talk to us today. Like, you've just shared so many valuable lessons that I think all of our listeners are really going to appreciate. And we thoroughly appreciate all of the work you're doing at the sanctuary as well, and can see how hard you work for the animals. So thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing Pippa with us at the end. What a beautiful way to end today's episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So folks, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Michelle, for everything that you do, and we do hope to see you again soon. So
sounds good.
Lots of love from us to you, and congratulations on what a great journey.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. So, folks, we will see you next week with yet another episode. So, this is us signing off. Bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Vegan Compass podcast, unveiling truths, inspiring change.
Be sure to follow us on social media at @thevegancompass_podcast. See you next time.